Hi guys, I'm Eileen. Today's video is about the best value luxury handbags. Now I know luxury handbags are expensive anyway, but I think certain handbags are more overpriced than the others, either because of the branding or the current trend. So I thought I'll make a video about the luxury handbags with really good value for money. Some of these bags are quite underrated as well, but I think they might be the best luxury handbags worth buying. First of all, let's talk about Hermes. I think Hermes probably has the best craftsmanship in terms of leather pieces. However, their price range is also at the top, although Chanel is definitely catching up now. Anyway, there are still entry-level bags from Hermes which can be really good value for money. In fact, when you buy from Hermes, their quality is usually quite consistent regardless of the price range you go for. So one bag that really stands out to me is the Picatinny. These bags come in a few sizes, but the price range of the Picatinny 18 is actually lower than a lot of the Chanel handbags now. I think the design for the Picatinny is really cute and unique. It's essentially an open top bag, and because it's so roomy, I think it should make a very functional and easy to use bag. However, because these bags are usually made of Claremont leather, they can look a bit slouchy and relaxed. So I think they might just be a bit too casual for very formal occasions. Nevertheless, I really like the design. I've actually been thinking to add a Picatinny 18 to my handbag collection, but I'm just waiting for the right color and hardware to come along. Another value for money handbag is something I previously owned, and that's the Mulberry Lily bag. I don't recommend you buying Mulberry pieces at full price though, because they do go on sale. In fact, I got my Mulberry Lily bag at about 30% off from an outlet store in Bicester Village here in the UK. Now when it comes to flat bags, I usually prefer those with quite a structured silhouette, but I find the designs of the Mulberry Lily very classy and feminine. In fact, if you're considering the Gucci Marmont flat bags, I think the Mulberry Lily can be a really good alternative, which I personally much prefer. And just like the Chanel Classic flaps, the Mulberry Lily can be very versatile because you can wear the bag three ways. I actually took mine on a few trips with me, and it was just really easy to use, and it looked really good as a crossbody bag. Inside the bag, there's no compartment, and because the leather is quite soft, you should be able to fit a lot inside the bag. These bags are also made of grained calf leather, so they are just really easy to look after. So overall, I think the Mulberry Lily is fantastic value for money. At least here in the UK, the resale values for these pieces are quite decent. When I sold my bag, I actually got about 70 to 80% back of what I paid for. While we're talking about Mulberry, I think another handbag worth looking into is the Mulberry Bayswater tote bag. This bag really reminds me of the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. You guys probably know Louis Vuitton already increased their prices twice this year, and their canvas pieces went up quite a bit. So if you're looking at other options, I think this can be a really good one. If you compare the two bags side by side, I think the Mulberry is really good value for money because the bag is made of fully leather inside out, and I really like the sharp contrast on the interior suede lining. I think these bags just look so understated and classy. So if you're quite conscious about displaying logo, these can make the perfect work bag or everyday bag. There's also a little turn lock for security and a separate pouch for organizing your things. So I think overall this bag is worth considering. Next, let's talk about YSL. I think YSL or Saint Laurent make some really lovely handbags. They are probably in the mid-range in terms of prices for luxury handbags, but I think their quality is quite outstanding. I only have one YSL piece in my handbag collection, and this is the Saint Laurent pouch or clutch bag. I think the quality is really impressive for the price. YSL handbags tend to go on sale as well, especially on websites like Mytheresa and Net-a-Porter, but they do sell out quite quickly. So if you have a wishlist item, I would suggest to keep a close eye on it. So in general, I think YSL handbags can be really good value for money. One bag that really appeals to me is the YSL Lou Mini crossbody bag. It just looks so chic and modern. I also love that it comes with a back pocket because it should be really handy for things like parking tickets and receipts. The size is quite comparable to a Chanel mini flap, which I love. So I think if you're considering the Chanel wallet on chain or just wallet on chains in general, I think the YSL Lou Mini should be a lot more practical and better value for your money. Another bag that's really good value for money is the Louis Vuitton Montaigne in the Empreinte leather. I used to have this bag in the size. I think the quality of this collection is at par with the more premium collections from Louis Vuitton, such as the Capucines, but the price is quite a bit lower, probably because the inside of these bags is not fully leather. The Montaigne is not the smallest bag, but because this bag has quite a rounded profile, it's just really nice to carry, especially using the top handles. I used to carry this bag a lot for meetings and conferences. I think the Louis Vuitton Empreinte leather is amazing because it's so durable and worry-free. So if you're not too sure about carrying Louis Vuitton canvas, this can be a really good alternative. Now there's still monogram embossment on the leather, but I think it's a lot more subtle than their canvas pieces. The next one shouldn't come as a surprise because I've talked about it so much, and that's the Lady Dior bag. I think the Lady Dior is so beautiful and well made, but for some reason they don't seem to get as much attention in the handbag community, I feel. In fact, I think Dior's quality is very comparable to Chanel, if not better, but Chanel just seems a lot more dominant in the handbag industry. Anyway, a medium-sized Lady Dior is about 40% cheaper than a Chanel jumbo flap now, so although they are expensive, relatively they are actually quite good value for money. Now Dior has been coming out with new designs, materials and sizes for their Lady Dior collection, but I think the classic version is still the timeless piece that will never go out of fashion. So if I ever add another Lady Dior to my handbag collection, I think I will still go for the medium size with the classic structured silhouette. Next one is a handbag from Chanel. Now we all know Chanel has been increasing their prices quite drastically, and their classic collections now cost a lot more than what I'm happy to pay for, and I know a lot of people feel the same way about Chanel's inflation. Nevertheless, I'm sure some people are still interested in buying from Chanel, so one bag that still stands out to me in terms of value for money is the Chanel Coco handbag. My favorite size is the size small, or some people call it the mini, which now costs just under £3,000 as we speak. It's still a lot of money, but if you compare it to other Chanel handbags, I think the pricing for this collection is fairly reasonable. For me, the size small is really versatile because it looks great with both casual and dressy outfits. The inside looks like it can fit a bit more than a Chanel mini flap, so it should be quite a functional small bag. However, I do have hesitations about this bag because although I love the looks of the top handle, apparently it can restrict the opening. So basically, when you carry the bag using the shoulder strap, the handle can hit your body when you try to open the flap because it is quite rigid and stationary. This is the one con a lot of people mentioned when I was doing my research, but most people kind of just work around it. So essentially, I think the Chanel Coco handbag is lovely. So if you've had your mind set on getting a Chanel handbag, but you're not too sure which one to get, this might be a good option. Another good value handbag for me is the Fendi Mini Peekaboo. These bags cost about £2,500 now, so again, not the cheapest handbags. In fact, they belong to the higher price range for Fendi. But if you compare them to other fully leather bags from Louis Vuitton or Chanel, this pricing is still quite competitive. I think the Mini Peekaboos look so classy, feminine and a bit playful. I've watched a lot of review videos and most people only have good things to say about these bags. I've been interested in getting a Mini Peekaboo for a while now, but I'm not too sure about the smooth leather. So if I ever get one, I think I will go for the grained calf leather. You guys know I love my Hermes Birkin 25, and the Mini Peekaboo just feels like a very small Birkin to me in the sense that access is super easy. If you have a mini peekaboo, please let me know how the bag is working out for you. I would love to know. I also think Celine luggage totes can be really good value for money. I used to have a Celine Nano and the quality was really impressive. Now, I was in two minds if I should include these bags because I know Celine pieces don't tend to have very good resale values. With the Celine luggage totes especially, I feel like the trend has cooled down quite a bit, but I decided to include them anyway because these bags are really well made and beautiful. The prices for these pieces have not gone up all that much in the last few years. So a nano is about £1,700 and a micro is about £2,200. These prices are really competitive given their quality and craftsmanship. Now, just like any other bag, I think you should only buy your perfect one. But I think with the Celine luggage totes, this is even more relevant because the demand is not that high now, so that will reflect on the resale values. Essentially, I think these bags are worth their price tags if you know you'll be keeping them in your collection forever. And it might also be a good idea to look at the pre-loved market if you're interested in getting one. Another luxury handbag brand I want to mention is Moynard. This brand is less mainstream, but given their quality, I think their handbags can be really good value for money. I especially like the Gabrielle handbags, which have quite a similar silhouette like the Hermes Kelly Soulier, so they do look very classy and ladylike. And just like Hermes, Moynard pieces are handmade by a single artisan from start to finish. And in terms of prices, they cost less than half the price compared to the Hermes Kelly Soulier. So if you're really into low-key luxury, this brand might be worth looking into. There you have it. Those are my recommendations for the luxury handbags with really good value for money. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know. I'm always open for ideas and feedback. So that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to share, like and subscribe. I will see you in my next one. Have a nice day.